All right. Good morning, traders. Happy Wednesday. Gearing up, gearing up for a nasty looking morning. Well, we said, we had some improvements, but we're still a minus 1.75. And this is the kind of thing that this kind of market can deliver us. So, whew, all right, let's be ready. How's everybody feeling? Good morning, Stephen. Good morning, Lee. I'm hopeful that maybe the utilities trade holds up, Walmart holds up, and we know Nvidia will not, or Palantir. So hopefully you've been following a plan, booking some gains uh, with those tech stocks, anything tech you had, and we'll see what else. Looking for a bounce back this afternoon. That's hopeful with the news driving it. It's pretty nasty. Pretty nasty news. Out of curiosity, and Stephen, I'll maybe point this one at you, but 100 days in, and we just got our first quarter of economic shrinkage. How are we feeling? Are we feeling confident? Are we feeling a bit nervous about where this administration is taking us? Expected. Really? Mm, I don't know. That's quarter one of negative economic output. We could hit a recession in the first half of the year out of nowhere. I don't think anyone really expected that, did they? Like, no one's like, hey, if we implement this, because I swear I remember prices going down on day one, everyone's going to be rich. I don't remember anyone saying there's going to be a recession first. I'm not sure people would have voted that way. Um, that's just me. All right, let's get cracking. Good morning. Oh, he worked a miracle. He he took a miracle economy, 2.5%, and he turned it into a negative a quarter. I'm just saying. Wasn't a good miracle. Um, okay. Let me get everybody in here. Welcome to the Wednesday Market Midpoint. My name is Scott. I will be your host. Um, let's get into it. As always, this is intended for educational and illustrative purposes only. Nothing we do or say should be construed as a recommendation to buy or sell any security or financial product. We're not brokers, we're not advisors, yada, yada, yada. Oh, got a hedge on yesterday? Yes. What did you hedge? I didn't have enough. I had booked gains, tightened stops. I'll give a little back. I'm hoping our defensive things hold up a little bit better. Did you buy puts? God, they were expensive. That was my issue, and I was just kind of deciding how would I want to go about it. Didn't obviously have time to put it on. But expensive puts get more expensive this morning, that's for sure. VIX is up quite a bit. That's going to help a lot. Okay, whoops. The agenda. Today's opening analysis. Um, we'll take a pick at our posture, though. What we saw on Monday and Tuesday is not reflective of what we're going to see today. And I think what we're going to see today is likely going to push us back into negative territory for the week. Steven's optimistic of a intraday recovery. I don't hold that same optimism, but it'd be great if it did. Setups, yeah, we're not going to find any setups and trading plan progress. Make sure you are continuing if there's anything you can be doing during a market like this. It is working on the trading plan, sharpening the saw, getting the details in, making sure that what you learn from the experience you're gaining in this market um, is translating into your trading plan. Okay, let's get into it. Negative GDP is really bad. Yes. Yes, it is. Not a declining, but we went negative, which shattered expectations of declining. So just in this was our big day, Wednesday. We have a lot coming out today. A lot coming out today. Um, yeah. I think it's not green press. Gold is not green uh because this is less inflationary and more just simply reacting to the negative GDP, whereas the gold trade is more of like an inflationary hedge trade where if it was like, hey, look at this inflation, maybe gold picks up later in the morning when the PCE numbers come out. The expectations there are a drop. Whoops, let me go this way. Uh, point 0.3 to point 0.3 to 0, 2.5 down to 2.2, zero point 0.4 down to 0.1, 2.8 to 2.6. So across the board, the expectations are looking for a decrease in these numbers. However, we'll see. We will see. Um, okay, so GDP came in at minus. So we were at 2.4 in the Q4. 2.4 was so sitting around 2.5%. It had come down a little bit. We were sitting around 3 for a bit, and it had eased up a little bit. So certainly we had already seen there had been a minor bit of a slowdown. But we went from 2.4 to the expectation of zero point 0.4, and we ended up getting minus zero point 0.3. ADP employment, we were at 147, expecting 120. So they were already expecting a drop, and we only ended up getting 62. Now, 62 is still positive. We didn't get a negative job report, but um, but it shrunk quite a bit. Later on Friday. Now, it's an interesting thing. The non-farm payrolls and the ADP private payrolls, that's about new jobs. That's people coming from unemployment into employment, uh, where we see that slowing down a bit here, right? 147 down to 120 expectations, but only got 62. Non-farm payrolls, 228. That's expected to drop to 133. And we'll see if that comes in. Then you've got jobless claims. Now, jobless claims is on the other end of it. Jobless claims is the newly unemployed. So the are people moving from unemployment into jobs? We need that to happen around 150,000 a month. So if non-farm comes in at 133, that's a little bit under. That's it's not outrageous. It's not like, oh my God, we're losing jobs. It's that we're not adding them fast enough to keep the labor market growing. So if we start to see it on this end, that's people not getting employed now. And if we see it on the jobless claims end, that's people starting to become unemployed. So it's two different sides of the journey when we're looking at that data. Keep that in mind. What else do we have coming out? So we have at 10 o'clock. Let's see. Did we get spending already? Income and spending comes out today. PCE comes out today. Okay, there we go. Well, let's just take a quick peek here. Contracts for the first time in 3 years. This is a concerning one. M&A, mergers and acquisitions, accelerates worldwide, but not in the US. Stephen, that's got to be concerning. No? Are we not concerned by this? Like the world, like he's like, oh, everyone has to do business here. And it seems like they're actually establishing that they don't. That's kind of a concerning thing for me. Um, shrinking economy, easing tariffs. Did they accomplish what they were supposed to if they're now being eased? It doesn't feel like it. Um, what else? Warns of global uncertainty. Traders pair bets on a Fed rate cut in 2025. Still see a June start. There's a backlog of activity in the US waiting the tariff situation to settle. Yeah, that's concerning because if it's not going forward until the tariffs, and then that means that the tariffs could disrupt it. That means it's maybe not going to happen, right? I mean, that uncertainty is locked in, I think. The old wisdom of sell in May. um, comes back. All right, that's not good news. We have some pretty negative news all around. Um, let's get ready for this. 547. So it's not outrageous. We're gonna gap down a little bit below yesterday's open, but it's not outrageous. The VIX does not like it. You can see the VIX is putting on some numbers already. However, however, if this VIX only spikes up like this and then rolls over, well, you know what we have, right? You know what we have. We have a high there and then one there, and then we'd have one down here. So that's fine. I mean, we were looking for a little bit of a possible pullback to come. At some point, we had a lot of overextended positions. Let's just go through and look at some of the damage here. I'm sure everybody's looking at their positions and starting to make some adjustments. Maybe. There we go. Okay. So the premise of the Walmart trade held up. You know, it's not great, but it's also not outrageous. If you didn't take profit yesterday, you could finish it right now if you decided to. Still profitable. Starting to give it back if you decided you should make the decision, but it's there if you decided. Um, let's keep looking. Okay, trade number two, Duke up a lot. No, no, but it's up. We can live with that. It's coming back already, but I mean things are going to be moving here, right? So, and let's go look at the others. Oy vey. So hopefully you got a good piece before the gap, and now you're going to be looking to work your way out of this. Although, don't just blindly close. Like if you still have a piece of this and this thing gapped down on you, there's nothing you can do. Hopefully, if you had to stop, you pulled it. I completely forgot to talk about this. I don't know why. I usually will on a day like this. I'll usually be like, "Hey, don't let things stop you on the open." If it already happened, well, you'll be a lesson there maybe. But for me right now, I'm going to look at this and say, "Hey, let's see if it can work its way back up and not take that big loss. Maybe I get back into this thing by the end of the day. But I now that I have this, I can put my loss under, or I can put my stop underneath for whatever's left, and then work my way out of the trade during the day. Let me know if that makes sense. But that's an important one, and you're likely to see the same thing here. Look, it sucks. Here's why it sucks. And if you've never noticed this, this is going to maybe be insightful. But especially if you're buying options, um, especially if you're, I just realized I completely forgot to start my second recording, but I do have the backup going, so that's fine. Okay. Um, if you buy an option and we buy out of the money, which we will tend to do, you might have a starting delta of zero point 0.4. And so if I started with a zero point 0.4 delta back here when I first put this trade on, this is Palantir. Oh, that's fine. Then it's, as it goes up, now it's a zero point 0.5 and now it's a zero point 0.6. And by the time it gets here, it's a zero point 0.7, right? This is loose. I'm not actually, so I'm just saying that's what happened, right? What happens as the stock moves higher, your delta is increasing, which means that when it drops from this point to this point, it was at its absolute highest delta. So the second you start to give it back, you give it back. It's like it builds and then it starts to pick up steam, pick up steam, pick up steam. When it drops, it doesn't drop slowly and start to pick up steam. It drops at its fastest rate, then it starts to slow back down as it drops, right? So it swells up and contracts back down. So yeah, if you're ever like, man, that really felt personal with how much I gave back. Yeah, it sure does. You're not wrong. It's mathematical, not personal. It's that you had a really big delta right as it had its big drop. Sucks. Like, look, you should still be able to, not on Nvidia, I don't think. I think Nvidia is back to a loss. Palantir, if you were in it, you'd still be able to squeeze some out. Let's go back to Nvidia. I thought it would be worse today, to be honest with you guys. Like, yeah, sucks. No one likes it, but good morning, Bob Walker. Good to see you. Got your email. I'm gonna see what I can do. For now, let's keep on coming when you can make it. And my best to you in your situation, sir. Um, it's right across the board, isn't it? Kroger's holding up. That's defensive. Coke's holding up. That's defensive. Um, Duke is trying its very, very best. We'll see what happens there. Let's walk through the watch list. How's everybody feeling now? How's everybody feeling? Apple's got earnings. That'll be interesting. It's an interesting mix of what we have starting with. I actually think that for Apple, this looks great. As long as what? As long as when it pulls back, and I would love to see this 200 mark, you can kind of see it want to stand out as a support level. As long as I see that hold up, I'm still going to look to see if there's bullish opportunities that come out of this, right? So far, that's not shook. AbbVie looks fine. Pullback, still tradable. Amazon. Tomorrow is a big earnings day. We've got Apple, we've got Amazon, Bank of America pulling back. Same thing. I would trade a bullish signal on this. It's take out the news. You don't know what happened today. All you have is this chart. It's busted up and pulled back, busted up, starting to pull back. If we see this, all I see is a potential trade. I don't want to let the news impact that. We assimilate the news into our analysis to make sure that we don't have to be like, well, what about this? What about it? Okay, look at Caterpillar gapped up on earnings, giving it back now. Okay, so they are expecting 430. They got 425, a little short. And I thought I saw, did someone see this with me? I thought I saw something that they said. Did I maybe even read it? Caterpillar says tariffs may increase its Q2 cost by up to 350 million. Oh, Yeah. Norwegian cruise earnings miss as tariffs drag on demand. I always forget NWCL. Nope. Why do I always forget the Norwegian cruise line symbol? Can anyone give it to me? RCL, I can bring up. Royal Caribbean. Carnival, CCL, I can bring up. I can never remember Norwegian. Norwegian Cruise, NCLH. It just doesn't make any sense. How does that get Norwegian Cruise Lines? I get NCL. Where's the H? Yeah, it doesn't look good for them. Down 10%. They were already in a pretty bad place, though. Um, it looks like Royal Caribbean's the best of the bunch. Okay, fair enough. Let's keep going. Sienna. I mean, that looks like it's just setting up the next trade. I'd trade that on the pullback. Maybe there. Chicago Mercantile still looks okay. CNP getting ready for a pullback. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, it's bad. It's not great. No one likes what we're seeing here, but it could still recover. We'll see how bad it is after today and tomorrow and what happens. Oh, come on, Duke. You can do it. Get it together, man. Inbridge pulling back. It is a red day. Fastenal. I think Fastenal looks like it could be tradable coming out of this next little bounce. Flex, no. Too close to earnings. Fox, no. GE Vernova just made a new high, pulling back. I think it's got a great opportunity anywhere from here to here to find support. Let's see what happens. Gold. Okay, so there it is, you guys. Now it's holding up a little bit. Uh, some people haven't. I mean, some of you might be in. Some haven't. The trade hasn't triggered officially yet. This is the GDX trade, but I do think it has still the ability. The trigger is actually way up here for Glenn. Mine's closer to here, but you can see since we gap down, but we were still holding the same support level we've been holding. Nothing's changed. The setup's still valid. Google pulling back, looking viable. I think that looks viable. Now, if it just keeps selling off all the way down to here, then it's not. That's the whole point, right? This is where I think sometimes people are like, "Oh, Scott's going to trade this." If, if it can't go, I would actually say that is probably where I would like to see it. You can kind of see that little gap above that line. So if this thing just sort of meanders around and then turns around, great. Well, let's think that this is going to happen. Goldman, viable. I don't have a problem with this pulling back. Pulls back. That's what happens. They go up, they go down. I've got all the way down into this range here before I would be concerned about that. I'm not viable. Robinhood. Earnings, but still, I don't feel like this is too disruptive yet. I thought it maybe was going to be worse. Give me your sense. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? I still like Howmet. Look at that. Beautiful. Just made a smashing up new high. It's got some heavy resistance there for sure. It just needs to gather some strength. It's so quiet today, you guys. You guys are so quiet. I get it. I get it. Hopefully, talking through it's helping a little bit. I feel like it's helping me. I was like, oh man, it's gonna be a nasty day. And then as we get into it, I'm like, we're okay. We're okay. Unless you tell me I'm wrong, and then I'll reevaluate. But hopefully. KMB, no. Coca-Cola, Kroger. MasterCard's about to report earnings. Let's see how Meta looks today. They're reporting earnings, I believe, this afternoon. A lot of earnings today and tomorrow. Oh, I don't want to go to Facebook. What was going on there? There we go. Aftermarket. Yeah. Morgan Stanley. Microsoft still looks fine. Are they reporting today as well? Yes. Netflix, Nvidia. Come on, Nvidia. Come on. Come on, you guys. Um, yeah. PLTR, I'm taking the rest. Nvidia, I'm hoping to get back a little bit closer to break even on the initial entry. And if I can get break even on the second piece, make money on the first, that'll still be a profitable trade. Is anyone all the way out? I think some people were. Philip Morris, no. Q's. Earnings on Roblox soon. Earnings on Reddit soon. Rocket Lab. I mean, all of these, none of these look like they've broken trends. None of these look like any, it's not that bad. It's kind of where I'm at right now. Anyway. Um, SE. I think SE looks great on a pullback. SO, SPY is just kind of struggling here. We're down 2%. It's not great. It's not great. It's not great, but it's not horrible either, right? Like the sky is not falling. Chicago PMI forecast 45.9, actual 44.6. I don't think it's going to have much of an impact, Miguel, to be fair. Um, at this point, the yeah, the PCE is going to be much that's the focus. I thought it was 10 the PCE. Is that not right? Oh yeah, 10 is in just a few minutes. That is at 7 a.m., isn't it? Sorry. No, no, no. That's my fault. I'm like, that's not for a little bit. I'm like, wait, that's at 8 o'clock my time. I'm in Utah, so I'm like, that's in 15 minutes, dummy. Okay. PCE. Gold is starting to kick in. Yeah, I think that the PCE, I think the market's hoping that these surprise numbers are helpful. I don't know if they will be. Um, yeah, there was a couple people I think who pulled the trigger on gold early. You guys know I pull triggers early. Sometimes. Let's go back to it. Yeah, let's try. Let's try. Where was I? TPR? Just Tesla. But at the end of the day, none of this looks all that intimidating yet. Yet. We'll see. It's going to be a negative volume day. I will tell you that. Walmart's trying to hold on, but it just doesn't seem like it's going to get through this now. So, okay, fair enough. Fair enough. It's quiet. Is there any trades, any symbols we didn't look at that you want to look at? And there may be some prospects today. Let's go look at the opening range now that we just got it settled in, or we're close to getting it settled in. Stephen could be right. There could be a massive recovery. You can see that we gapped down, sold off. We took out Monday's lows. Now we're trying to hold this support level here. Yeah. I mean, it's a long day. CME. CME's still I would be probably locking in gains, to be fair, if I had this trade and waiting for a pullback if I didn't. Yeah. It got up to that 273.5 mark, and it seems to be hitting some resistance there, maybe starting to roll over a little bit. Um, so yeah. Are you in that one, Kevin, or thinking about it? In, love it. Um, love it, love it. That would be my thought. Yeah, I would be thinking at least some, right? Take some, keep some, if nothing else. Take a little off the table, pare it down, tighten the stop. Now that you see today's opening range established, and this would be any position like this, you could basically come in here and say, "Hey, I'd love to see this get back up here to this 273 mark, but I'm definitely not going to let it break below this mark here, this low of this candle, right?" And you could even look at these, but you're still fresh to these. That's why I would scooch back and say, I'm not going to let it break that low. If it breaks that low, then whatever it's trying to do here, think about what that would look like. Um, it's popped up, and if imagine if it just breaks like this through this low, yeah, I think the next stop is this little basing pattern down here. Ooh, and then you're at 269, and then you're like, whoa, now. So yeah, I would definitely be thinking about, how do I want to deal this? How do I want to do with this thing? Trading plans. We are working on this right here is everything. These numbers, there is so much information here that we could um, be working with and working on. Um, so yeah, yeah, super helpful. How do I make sure I have this? Well, you got to log it. Once you've done all this, once you've done all this is done for you. All you have to do is enter your account value and your risk percent to give you what your ideal risk per trade amount is. And then you can keep an eye on average loss size compared to willing loss size. You can keep an eye on all of this information is just it's just popping in there for you, right? It's what we're looking for. So um yeah. On your trading plan, didn't break it up on number of trades, set it up as quarterly. Okay. I don't have any problem with that at all. Um, one of the reasons I like to do it this way is I will watch to see, you know, date ranges. Um, so it's like, how long is it taking? But quarterly is fine. The question would be if you had to estimate, where's that going to put you per quarter as a number? And if you're getting, I mean, if you're trading pretty actively and you're going to be around 75 to 100 trades a quarter, then I would switch to monthly. I want I want every 25 trades. In fact, it's a funny thing because in a previous role of mine, I worked, it's my laboratory of trading psychology, but I worked where I did boot camps for about 4 years. That's all I did was just, I'd head up to Park City, stay at a nice hotel. People would come in, we'd work for 3 days. That was it. I worked with about 4,000 people in that setting over a period of 3.5, 4 years. Every possible occupation, doctors, lawyers, teachers, engineers, scientists, firefighters, whatever, you name it, including professional. I worked with a professional gambler, blackjack player. I worked with a chess player who was a grandmaster. Is that what they call him? A grandmaster chess player? If you ever go to the risk management, I talk about how he inspired me with my protect the king philosophy. Um, but I also worked with a mathematician and a statistician, and I asked them both the same question: what's the smallest number for a relevant sample size? And they interestingly said the same thing. Anyone want to take a guess at it? The smallest, what they considered the smallest relevant sample size. Miguel guessed 25. It's actually 33. Brah, Bob Walker, you nailed it. Yeah, 33 is what they said. I was like, oh, okay. And because I'm impatient, I went with 25. I'm like, I'm like, well, how close will I be at 25? They're like, yeah, pretty close. I'm like, close enough then. 25 is a good round number. 25 is so that's what I was looking for with that number is statistical relevance that I don't want to be unduly influenced by the data that comes in through that grouping of trades. So 25 is my number. But yeah, 33 is strong. The bigger your number, the stronger your data, obviously. And so I tell people I won't really look at I have Kelly set on a per 25, but I tend to look at it at a broader perspective. Anyways, great conversation to have real quickly as we are watching the market burn through a little bit here. Hopefully that makes sense. But if you find when you do it quarterly that you're having bigger chunks where you're like, oh, I got 70, I would want to break that down into at least two different pieces so I could see first half, second half of that quarter. Or if it was like I said, even more. If I had 75, I'd want first, second, third. So I can this to me is where I'm gonna see things better on an overarching basis. Where I'm like, oh, my losses are starting to get bigger. What the hell? What's going on? And if it's just that's what I'm looking for is the trends. If you under trade, you might not hit trades. Yeah, I mean it's right. It's gonna, this is working on about 8 trades per month, right? This is the alert log. This is about eight, and it was slower in the beginning. There was much slower as I was kind of getting comfortable with how I wanted to do it, and so if you look back at this first grouping here, it took a while because it was slow. April, May, June was a lot slower. Then it started to pick up. You can see it picked up a little here. Now it's slowed down again. Why? Well, market conditions obviously have slowed it down, and so you're not wrong about that. Oh, this was a great little record keeping discussion to have. Thank you for bringing that up. Let's go take a quick peek at the market one more time before we wrap things up here. Um, SPY. Oh, it's getting worse. It's getting worse. The sell-off is accelerating to some extent, so make sure you keep him busy so we can discuss it. Yeah, you know what? I kind of feel like I want to see it hit, and see if there's a reaction to it. I'm not sure why I'll have like, does anyone have real time where they're going to see it? I'd like to see it actually hit and see what kind of an impact it has on the market. The market's jittery. We can feel it right now, right? The market is very, very jittery for sure. Forex Factory. Oh yeah, I like their calendar. Let's see. I used to know how to work this calendar. How do I just isolate the US? I haven't looked at this in a long time. Top right filter. There we go. I only want US news. Apply. Okay, there we go. And we are Wednesday. Oh, there's the countdown. Very exciting. Uh, It's very dramatic. This is what we used to do at lunchtime here because 2 o'clock p.m. is 12 o'clock here in that boot camp. We would watch whenever there would be a Fed announcement. We would turn on the futures and then we would watch it and then we'd break for lunch. It was pretty funny. It's interesting stuff. It's not the same reaction. Boy, when the Fed meets, you'll start to see candles that just explode. You're like, oh my God. It's crazy. Powell's job definitely got harder. Definitely got harder. Pending. Look at it flashing pending now. This is so exciting. I feel like I'm on pins and needles, you guys. Like, whoa, what's going to happen? Press, good to see you. Stay safe. Keep your wrist protected. Is this going to refresh? Do I need to refresh it, Miguel? Oh, wait, that's pending home sales. Where's the PCE? There it is. Personal income, spending higher. Core PCE came in at 0. Is that what we were expecting? Yeah. Point one came in at 0. Where's the rest of this? But why didn't they show the rest of it? Come on, Forex Factory, you're better than that. Core PCE, we are expecting. Oh, okay. Okay. Interesting. So interesting. All right. What's the reaction? Well, the market likes it. The market likes it. So there you go. Let's see if we can regain a little ground here. Glenn will be here in 5 hours. If you're around, pop in, meet with him, talk about what's going on. If not, I'll see you guys tomorrow night at the uh, Trading Foundations open session. It's good to see everybody. I hope you feel okay about where we are. Like I said, at the end of the day, it wasn't too bad. We made it through this thing okay. I'll see you guys soon. As always, happy trading.